What's going on, contractors? Dominic Caminati here, owner of Grosso University and industry-leading sales trainer. I'm really excited about today's educational webinar. This is one of the most powerful webinars we've ever done, and I'm honored to be able to introduce one of the most turnkey and profitable dealership opportunities to hit the home improvement industry in a long, long time. So I have the honor and privilege of sitting down with the president of Guttercap, Steve Tanute. Thank you for driving up here from Chicago.
Thank you.
We're going to be talking about in this educational webinar how Grosso University and our sales training and our methodology, combined with the greatest Guttercap system in the industry, we're going to be joining forces to provide contractors just like you the opportunity to add a whole new product to your arsenal that's guaranteed to be the most scalable and profitable product that you've ever offered to your customers. And we can't wait to learn more about this product. And I just want to say thank you, Steve, for considering Grosso University, again, for this dealership opportunity. So it's an honor to be a part of this.
Thank you.
Yeah. So again, kind of kicking things off, Steve, those of you watching this that maybe aren't familiar with who Guttercap is, just explain briefly about, what inspired you to even invent such a product, because that's one of the things that's an honor to be a part of this, because this isn't a product that you're just endorsing or promoting. You invented it, you patented the product, and you've been, evolving and enhancing this product for many decades. What was that initial inspiration, and what's your background to get involved with this?
Yeah, I started when I was 22 years old in the home improvement industry doing new construction, actually, and went from new construction to doing thousands of homes a year, and then in my late 20s, I got into the seamless siding program and learned how to do seamless siding, because I always wanted to have the best products that you could put on a home in the industry, and got into that. Went through some tough times in 90 and ended up selling a product called Gutter Helmet. Back then was the actually original gutter protections. Mm-hmm. And in 2 weeks in November, I sold so much gutter protection, I'm like, take that siding and give me those 5-foot boxes. So,
love it.
And then that following spring, I'm ready to do, I ran a TV commercial and sold a lot of Gutter Helmet in 2 weeks, and I couldn't wait to do another TV commercial and just pound it for the following year. And that spring, my phone just rang off the hook with some problems, and I'm like, you guys got to come up and show me what's wrong. They came up, and I wasn't happy with the answer, because nothing ever actually worked for keeping gutters clean, so I wouldn't even sell anything unless it worked. But my brain said, no, I can make a ton of money. I got to come up with something that will work, and that's how I came up with the idea and just took it and ran. Had a lot of fun with it.
So you got involved with gutter protection early on, and you saw the opportunity was unprecedented. I mean, the level of success you're having was out of this world. Unfortunately, it just turned out that the product that was being installed wasn't performing up to the hype. So you're like, well, if I can take this opportunity that's clearly unbelievable and invent a product that truly does exceed expectations in every way, then you got a formula for success.
Absolutely, that's what, and we did fantastic. I mean, we just started off, it took a lot to do it, but by early 2000s, it took us a while. It took about 8 years before we really started getting the volume, building up the machines and everything to sell it nationwide. Mm-hmm. But we've still got relationships from the late 90s of contractors all over the country.
Wow, that's amazing. So a really great story. Again, it's really inspiring how you literally saw an opportunity with a product, and obviously you're a man of integrity. You want to, be able to offer something and sell something that you truly believe in that lives up to all the promises, and I think that's very commendable. And that was really the birth of this. And it wasn't good enough for you just to invent the next generation of gutter protection, but you've been continually enhancing your existing design to literally create what I deem to be the most significant innovation in Guttercap since its inception, since the concept was first launched. And unless you've been asleep under a rock, watching what's going on in the home improvement industry, you realize that gutter protection is one of the most dominant products and services in the home improvement industry, or home services in general. So Steve, let me ask you, I guess, what are some of the primary reasons homeowners today are investing in gutter protection, why the demand's so high, and I guess what are some of the big problems that Guttercap's going to solve for those homeowners?
Well, when you get to Midwest, a lot of problems. When them gutters get full of garbage and that gutter flashing issues in the springtime, you got the gutters overflowing, you got backup underneath that gutter flashing. In the winter months, in the colder states, you've got ice damming backing up where that gutter flashing meets. So we're able to solve those problems. Homeowners literally can't stand cleaning those gutters. And the other thing is people don't realize how many people actually fall off, not even a roof, but a 6-8 foot ladder. It's by the hundreds of thousands of people actually die a year. It's just amazing. And so
It's unreal.
people, a lot of mamas are saying, no, you ain't getting on that ladder anymore. So it's huge. It's just, I mean, I can't even say the market. I never realized how many until Leaf Filter did what they did nationwide.
Yeah.
I mean, they've sold a lot of product, and they've proven the point of what's really out there and how much the demand is. I mean, I believe it's like $1 billion worth of products sold a year. I mean,
yeah, no, it's obvious. Like I said, I mean, unless you've been hibernating for the last several years, it's hard to ignore that the demand for gutter protection is out of this world. And I think Leaf Filter did such a great job with consumer awareness, making them aware of this. And like you said, people are kind of putting the ladders aside now and deciding that, instead of risking my life to keep my gutters flowing, because of course, I mean, you have overflowing gutters, not only can that destroy your roof, it can damage your foundation, you can water into your basement. I know that there's basement water protection companies that are super interested in gutter protection now too.
Absolutely.
Because it fits so perfectly with their products and services that they offer. So now, with that in mind, clearly the demand's been strong. I guess, do you see any trends that will tell us that the demand for gutter protection is going to continue to grow?
I should have known this number 10, 15 years ago, but I never realized how big this was. I mean, it's a huge market. I mean, we're talking billions and billions of dollars a year, and a lot of the products, 9 out of 10 products out there actually don't work. So if you've seen my garbage can, we also sell at retail in the Chicago market, and it's amazing on how many screen products that we actually put in that garbage can in a day. It's just mind-boggling. So they're getting products done. They want to solve the solution, but they ain't got the right answer, so they're having to do it twice. They're having to pay $4,000 or $5,000 twice just because they put the wrong product on in the first place.
So that's a very important thing. And since you kind of segued into the screen products, we got a couple screen products here, some samples. I guess from your experience, what are some of the reasons some of these screened gutter protection systems do have problems in the long run and end up having to get thrown in the garbage can? What are some of the things that happen?
A lot of it depends on the screen product, whether it's going to last a couple weeks or does it take a 2-year product. I compare it to the inside of your house. I mean, I don't care what shelf you have in your house, you're going to have dust on top of it. So it might take a little bit more, depends on how many trees, depends on how many granules are coming off that roof. But eventually, it doesn't matter if we come up with a product like, start off with the evolution of these products that have been around for 30-some years, where it's just a plastic with the screening, and those little holes get plugged up and the vinyl falls off. Then they have evolution, just screening products that go over. They get clogged up. We actually see the plucking of a screen product where people are actually plucking the trees out of the plucks.
Oh my gosh.
So, but then the evolution of the leaf filters and the different filtered products out there have a 2 or 3 different products that are put. And as you can see from this product that was tore off the house, it was actually dirty and falling apart. Might have taken 2-3 years before it got to that stage, but eventually that little screening is going to get clogged with dirt and debris.
Well, a lot of these lay flat, right? I mean, they kind of, instead of having a slope, so it's a lot easier for stuff to kind of build up and collect on these.
Exactly. Right? We call it a shelf. I mean, it's literally a shelf. So once that gets dirt and stuff, the water just pours off the top. So yeah, there's nothing in the gutter, but the gutters are overflowing right there, so you might as well not even have a gutter on at that point.
There's, of course, a lot of benefits to Guttercap that we'll talk about in this educational webinar, but I thought it was interesting. I have this picture on the TV here, and my videographer came in before we started recording, and he was looking at this. He's like, "What is that a picture of?" I said, "It's the Guttercap." He's like, "I can't even see it." I'm like, "That's the point, because it blends in with the roof. It's not some crazy eyesore that's going to stick out. It blends in seamlessly with the roof." And if I recall, you said this is a pure patented design. This is your baby. And you can see the difference. So this isn't a shelf. This obviously slopes with the contour of your roof, with the pitch of your roof, and it blends in seamlessly. So it looks gorgeous. It makes a lot more sense. So you don't have a shelf sitting there collecting dirt and debris and all the different trees growing out of it long term.
Yep.
So I guess since you founded this, I guess have you had other competitors try to mimic that type of design?
No, I mean, our patents are pretty strong. I don't see anyone actually trying to go there. And the technology behind making this product it was very difficult to design and figure out how to make that formula and put it all together. But you brought up a really good point. When we would do home show, the hardest thing was homeowners really weren't getting what it was.
Like, I don't see it.
What are you selling there?
Yeah,
so
that's funny.
But
Yeah.
when we go in the house, whole different ballgame. You show them any other product and say, if price weren't an issue, which one are you going to choose?
Yeah,
There's not one homeowner that ain't going to want our stone-coated gutter cover it becomes the first row of shingles. It looks like the first row of shingles.
No, it's beautiful, especially because, I mean, you mentioned patented, exclusive. I'm sure everyone watching this would love the opportunity to sell something that's truly exclusive and unique, because I find that a lot of the gutter protection, honestly, it looks quite similar.
Yeah.
And it's going to have a lot of the same types of issues just because of its inferior design. So with your system, we'll get more into like how it's made and all that stuff. But if I hear you correctly, it's the only stone coated gutter protection of its kind, right?
Absolutely.
So
yes.
this is next generation stuff. So if you know about stone coated metal roofing and the advantages of a stone coated metal roof, giving you all the beauty and architectural detailing of an asphalt shingle, but with the performance of metal even exceeding most metal. And then you take that into the Guttercap world, it's just amazing that nobody thought of it before. But to me, it makes all the sense in the world. And especially when I see a finished product like this, how beautiful that looks. And like you said, how it looks like that first row of shingles, it's absolutely phenomenal. Now, in the world of gutter protection, of course, leaf filter comes to mind. So now, what are some of the other elements of your design that prevent large debris, small debris, all this stuff from getting into your gutter? Because you sent me a video recently of a gutter cap that was 18 years old, and I believe it was this color even. And not only was the gutter cap still in immaculate condition, like there was minimal fading, if any, on the coating itself, but they popped it up and took a look underneath and there was nothing in there.
Absolutely, yes.
So I guess compared to some of these other ones where stuff still gets in there, you get trees growing out of your gutters, what's unique about your design? I guess how is it so effective?
Well, that's the whole key about the design. Originally, when we invented the gutter cap, the design of the product, the hardest thing was trying to convince a homeowner that they're not going to clean gutters again for the life of the product.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd always have a hard time. I'd get dealers that have been with me for almost 20 years. They're like, Steve, there's nothing. I just replaced the gutter cap or did a removal and reinstall for a new roof, and you got to promote that there's nothing in the gutter. I was, well, that's why we invented the gutter cap, you know.
So just to explain that, because I just want to make sure people are clear on what you're talking about. So you install the gutter cap, and obviously it far outlasts the roof. So in the situation where they got to tear the roof off and replace it, a lot of times they temporarily remove the gutter cap and reinstall it. You know, if they want to go with something different, they can. But in that process of tearing the roof off and look underneath, they're like, you got to check this out, Steve. There's nothing in here. You know, 18 years later, maybe a couple granules from the shingle just because the shingle fell apart, or the roof fell apart, but no leaves, no helicopters, no pine needles, no debris. So, I mean, you have those case studies that literally are incredible.
Well, that was the hardest thing, is how do we educate homeowners that this is truth? I mean, we're not blowing smoke here. You ain't going to clean your gutters out again.
Yeah.
So how could we get that across? Well, after 20 years, I found that my son actually just went out on a job that we were doing a removal and going to reinstall the product for the roof, and there was our proof finally. You know, we're taking it off, going to get the homeowner to a testimony from the homeowner. Let the homeowner tell our contractors and other homeowners, you know, hey, it really does. This is it. You're gonna put a new product on that you're not gonna clean up gutters again.
So you started with an amazing product already. I guess what was the initial inspiration to start coating it with the stone coating?
You answered the question earlier,
Yeah.
believe it or not, and that was there's different products out there, all the different, and I got so frustrated, it was driving me crazy that there's other products out there, and how do you explain to a homeowner that ours works and theirs doesn't, and why it doesn't work? Well, all the other products out there have brackets and straps. Ours is a one-piece system. It's all mounted, no brackets and strap, to where the crew can't mess up putting. They got to go out of their way to put it on wrong.
Yeah.
So
they got to be creative and mess it up.
So I said to myself, and people in my office knew I was up to something. I said, man, I gotta figure out a way to put roof granules. Or would roof granules work? How would it work? Would the engineering on it? So I actually started off by taking a gutter cap and I used rolled roofing, just 3 foot, and I put it around the gutter cap and cranked it underneath the sink to see what it would do to, you know. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I knew I was onto something, but I'm like, now how can I figure out how to put those roof granules on metal? That was the tricky part of it.
Well, and because you want to make something that you believe in, that you know is going to stand the test of time, and you want to over-engineer it. I mean, you spent several years trying to perfect the stone coating on this, right?
It took me 7 years to actually.
7 years of R&D and different experiments to try to master the stone coating. The first time I ever heard about this, Steve, is some of my clients that we work with. One is Exterior Pros right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They absolutely love your product. I had never heard of stone-coated gutter protection before until I heard it from literally my client. That's how it's a small world, but it all came together. But they literally can't stop talking about how amazing it is, and their salespeople love. It's just a fun product to sell in the house.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because it literally sells itself. It's a no-brainer. Everyone loves it. It makes all the sense in the world, and it's truly unique and exclusive. So if you're a contractor watching this, we train people on the Formula Master Presentation, which of course differentiation, what's in it for me, price condition, trial close, and exclusivity. Well, with some products, it's kind of far-fetched because a lot of contractors are all offering the same stuff. But when you're offering this patented, unique, exclusive, badass gutter cap, you're truly able to send your sales team armed for battle into the house with the most durable, cutting-edge, high-performing gutter cap system that's truly unique and exclusive. So I could see that conversion on sales for these leads got to be extraordinarily high.
Oh,
especially with the Grosso training now.
That's
right? So that's what we're going to be doing. Now, compared to other gutter caps on the market, I guess, how much more durable would you say the stone-coated gutter protection is compared to other products on the market?
I mean, durability-wise, the Midwest here, we get snow and ice.
Mm-hmm.
We've never, ever had, unless a tree or something falls on.
Yeah.
But durability-wise, we don't replace gutter cap unless some extreme weather.
Yeah. No, just feeling the product, it's obviously got some weight to it, it's substantial, and impact-wise.
We'll literally grab different products and say, which, you tell me, Mr. Homeowner, what
feel the difference.
All you have to do is hold it and...
Yeah. No, and I love it. Now, if you have different color asphalt shingles, I guess how difficult is it to have a gutter cap that blends in with their existing roof?
Unless you get into the really peculiar greens, reds, we match it 90% of the roofs out there. Once in a while we'll get a unique color, but one of the granules will match whatever that color is, so it really ties in good with whatever shingles out there.
Okay, so a lot of the different earth tones and different like weather woods and type stuff that people really like these days.
Yep.
You're able to have a gutter cap that blends in seamlessly with what you're doing.
Yep. Color-wise.
That's amazing stuff. So now, you had already touched on this, but I want to expand on it because if I'm a contractor watching this, obviously the product is an amazing product to sell, but at the same time, installation-wise, right? So is it difficult to install? And I know you already touched on that, but then what installation training and support would a contractor receive when they become a dealer of something like this?
Well, right now it's all in a manual form and support at Guttercap out of Chicagoland. We've got the full support on installation training. We're going to be doing a new training. We're going to put it all online, go out to some houses, do some do some video training on that. We've got a training room at the shop where we manufacture the product with all the different roof pitches. So we go through in detail. It's already there in print, but we want to do we're going to do an updated version this year. Within the next 6 months here, we're hopefully going to have that all done for.
And those of you watching wondering what's Grosso University contributing here is we're going to help Steve build a full-blown learning management system for gutter cap dealers that of course will have some marketing stuff. It'll have all the sales training content that you could ever ask for, and also we're going to build and film some installation training content and materials for you. So whether you want to do it in person or do it completely online, you're going to have all those tools available, all those resources. And like he said, he engineered a product that you literally have to be creative to mess it up because, again, one-piece system. It's very simple to install. A couple of tutorial videos, one job, and your crews are race ready to go dominate the world in installations.
Yep.
And I think that's something not to take lightly because there's a lot of very complex products out there. For example, metal roofing. Metal roofing can be pretty complex. And a lot of people think, well, is Guttercap going to be complex too? But from what you've shown me and the manuals I've seen and the installation and the way you've designed this product, I mean, it seems like a breeze to grow and scale.
It really is. On the picture, you can see right here on the gutter, it's just a zip screw right on the front nose, and then underneath the second row of shingles, it just snaps right underneath the second row, and we use a deck screw on the back side of it.
Nice. That's awesome. And I would assume that, so this actually goes over the starter row technically,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
So now, I mean, that would probably help with performance with wind and stuff too, with the edge of the roof, right?
Not only wind, we've never lost, that I know of, we've never lost a gutter cap to wind actually. I mean, we've had hail damage on but never, I'm sure it's happened, but if this is implied, it really strengthens up. We've got some old gutter systems out there that it's gone over and it's gave it a lot.
And you had mentioned the ice damming. I mean, a lot of the concern people have with ice damming is when it builds up on the gutter and pushes back under that first row. And this is obviously a shield protecting that whole first row of shingles, so the uplift and the pushback of ice damming is no longer an issue.
We still can get icicles. We literally put it down that we could tell homeowners, because that's the only, you could get a call back if you didn't educate the customer that you could still get icicle, because that's the coldest part of the roof. But I'm gonna say in 2001, I believe it was, we had one of the worst ice dam storms in Chicagoland, and we were getting hundreds and hundreds of calls of people mad at their roofers. It wasn't a gutter cap job, and I'm like, why are my gutter cap customers not calling me with complaints on ice damming? Well, you hit it on the head. Behind that gutter is that gutter flashing, and that's where 80% of the problems were. I went out and I removed 1.5 feet of ice and snow off to see why I wasn't getting complaints. Yeah. And that gutter was empty. It didn't have a full gutter of backing up underneath that flashing. Makes sense. It helped, but I'm not going to put it in writing that I can solve someone's ice damming, because ice damming could still happen.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially because you can't control how the roof was installed, or the heat envelope of the house, or the insulation in their attic. I mean, there's a lot of variables outside of your control that can obviously cause ice damming. So now, if I'm an installer or if I'm a salesperson, I sell the job at the kitchen table, and I'm concerned about lead times, because we got a good reminder in the last several years that supply chain and turnaround times is an important element of any business. And I'm sure the contractors watching this are probably wondering, from the time I sell a job to the time I can install it, what does that typical turnaround time look like on a job that you sell from phone call to install?
Phone call from contractor to me, product shipping out that day or within 3 days of. You can call any of my dealers nationwide. They get product. It's out my door within 3 days max. I mean, we like to turn. So
no longer than like a full week to receive a product, no matter where you are in the country.
Depends on where the shipping lane could be 3 days, and after so it might take them a week to get from here to Tennessee or Alabama.
Right. But compared to some products out there that take 6-8 weeks to get shipped and all that stuff, so this is a product that is, of course, easy to sell, and especially with the Grosso training we're going to provide. Super easy to install, and lead times are prompt and efficient as well.
Absolutely.
So you can turn around jobs and spool up jobs really quickly.
Yep.
So now, seasonality of this stuff, I'm just curious, asking, because you talk about Midwest. Do you see a big issue with seasonality, or do you got crews installing this all through the winter? I mean, assuming there's not like huge piles of snow.
If there's not snow on the roof, and depending on how old the roof is, we work through the winter months if we don't have snow and if it's safe. But our main peak is anywhere, and we'll get jobs done. We'll have backlogs. I might be 80 jobs out, and knock them out slowly through till March. But after March, April is when it starts kicking in gear for the following year, but your peak, where you're going to sell a ton of gutter protection is your fall months. And how do you get? Sometimes you don't get them all done. I mean, you won't get them done, and then we get slowly done through the winter months with. So my crews they have work, but it slows down when the weather breaks.
Yeah, the fall makes sense. I mean, because a lot of people solve problems reactively, not proactively. So okay, I'm sick of these gutters clogging up for the very last time. The straw that broke the camel's back. Now I'm going to finally make a phone call out and find a solution here. So now a lot of people are probably wondering, of course you talked about some case studies where this lasted longer than the roof and people have no issues. I guess, what type of warranty comes with Guttercap? So when you're selling this at the kitchen table, of course there's a lot of talk about warranties in the industry, but what is the actual warranty on your Guttercap?
We give a lifetime warranty on the product actually working for life. but the homeowner has to have it reinstalled from their contractor to keep that warranty. They can't just have another roofer or another contractor reinstall it. It has to be reinstalled from that contractor so that
Yeah, so if some roofing company comes out to replace their roof, the contractor that originally installed the gutter protection would have to be the one taking it off and reinstalling it, not just some amateur that has no clue what they're doing.
That's right.
Tearing it off and reinstalling it. That's only logical.
Because roofers, 9 out of 10 roofers are going to put it on the wrong way. They're roofers. They do not care about how they got to put that gutter cap back on. So I can't tell you how many roofers just take it off, put it back, and they shoot the daylights out of it with roofing nails, and they then the homeowner. It's amazing on how many times people pay $4,000, $5,000 twice to put gutter cap on because their roofer messed them up. I mean, they mean well, but they
don't know what they don't know.
That's right.
Okay, well that's good to talk about. So now, as long as those things are followed, then like you said, when you make that claim, this is the last gutter protection you'll need. This will literally keep your gutters clean as long as you're living in your house. You truly mean that.
Yeah.
So, because I know that was the motivation that inspired you to get into this to begin with.
That's right.
Now, do you find a lot of these companies covering labor as well, or is that like more of a limited labor warranty with a lot of these contractors?
Yeah, us as the manufacturer don't warranty the labor. We warranty the lifetime on the product itself. So it's the installer, but we back that installer up if a homeowner was to call and some other roofer in another area put it on and ruined it for them. We got to work with our contractors and support them on, because it's not their fault that they didn't have any problems for 10, 15, 20 years, and then all of a sudden a new roofer puts in it. And the homeowners know it. They know it was we worked for 10, 20 years, and now it's not working. They put it on wrong.
Yeah. So now, one question I'm sure people have is, once I become a dealer, what's some of the support I'm going to get? What training am I going to receive? And some people may be wondering, how did you even come across Grosso University? Now, it's my understanding you have a pretty long-standing history with Rick Grosso and the Grosso methodology. I guess if you don't mind, explain briefly what your history was with Rick, and of course how you came across Grosso University. I guess what triggered you to reach out.
So Rick and me go back, I think 25 years, and we've had a great relationship through the years, and we go back a long ways, and that's when you and me had, I started actually doing your training with my retail company that does home improvement, and I was very impressed, and we made a phone call, and I'm beyond excited to partner up with you and work out where we're going to take this to the next level with my dealers. So my dealers have had come a long ways in time. Now we're, with you and I coming along together and partnering up, we want to take this to the next level. So we're going to be putting a lot of things together in the near future here.
Yeah, and those of you watching, so in terms of the sales training we're going to provide, we're literally, once you become a Guttercap dealer, you get all the Grosso University sales training resources complimentary. So we're literally going to be taking you by the hand, teaching you from the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment you close that sale, everything in between, exactly how to deliver the masterful presentation and come out with the outcome you desire more often than not. And 50% plus closing on a product like this should be your minimum expectation.
Absolutely.
Obviously, our goal is nationwide 60% plus, because it is literally one of the easiest products I've ever seen to sell in the house. But again, we're going to provide all that support. We're going to help with a masterful in-home presentation, the sales training collateral materials. We're going to build a whole online learning management center, learning management system that's going to support you guys for ongoing training and support. Now, also, you're going to provide some tools for dealers for marketing and lead generation as well, right?
Absolutely. We're working on one of the the biggest deal that I've ever been working on. We're starting to work on a whole national lead program for our dealers to get involved with. So we're going to come alongside them and show them what we have to offer for new lead program to really go head to head with lead fill. We want to get our market share here. We've been sitting on the best product for a long time, and now we're merging the great partnership that you and I are bringing together, and also bringing in a lead program that we believe that can really launch all of our existing Guttercap dealers and all our new Guttercap dealers that we're getting ready to attack here in the near future here. Yeah.
Nice. And when salespeople go into the house, of course, we're going to provide a few kits for new dealers complimentary, and of course there's additional kits you can purchase. But you're going to literally have a full-blown kit and display and all the competing samples that's going to literally fit perfectly with our sales methodology. Because of course in our methodology, We do the introduction, we do a needs assessment, we're going to provide all the supporting documents for those things. We're going to do a full inspection. We'll talk about how to do a proper inspection on the gutters to, of course, create a sense of urgency, create awareness, pain, and trauma. And then we get to a masterful company story. We're going to work with you one-on-one to make sure you have a masterful company story that's built and designed specifically for your company, so your salespeople are confident with what they're presenting to the homeowner. You're going to have all the samples that you can have access to for, again, killing the competition, like killing a flea with a sledgehammer. And of course, doing that masterful in-home presentation. And this product is such a phenomenal product. You literally could do it as simply as putting these in their hands and say, which one feels like the gutter protection you should have in your home to solve your problem, right? And one of my favorite questions I love asking in a sales encounter, Steve, is how much money would you spend on a new product or a new system that does not solve your problems? How much would that be worth to you?
Yeah.
And of course, everyone answers, well, I wouldn't invest any money in a product that does not solve my problems. And then I ask a follow-up question, how long would you want those problems solved for, initially or permanently? And they're like, well, I never want to do this again. I couldn't agree more. So is there anything we can both agree on? If you're looking at any gutter protection that's not a permanent solution to those problems, it's not even worth talking about at that point, now is it? So you really tee this thing up masterfully, and then it's simply just educating them because you have this shelf design that's really guaranteed to fail. And of course, Steve's patented design with the Guttercap and the stone coating, guaranteed to last you forever. You literally have the case studies, we can show them. 18, 20-year-old Guttercap that still looks like brand new. It literally, in my opinion, is one of the easier products I've ever seen to sell, and I could see a dealer onboarding with this. It's not like it takes months and months to spool up a dealership. Literally within a few weeks, you could have dozens of sales under your belt, and then you could have the product shipped to you instantaneously, get your install training, and you're hitting the road running with this thing. It's just a very turnkey operation.
Yeah, the package that we're going to put together, which we can show everyone, is it's really a no-brainer. You're getting a startup package with the product, the sales training, everything that you need to literally go in that house and turn that investment into money back within a week. I mean, a week and a half at the most with turning that.
Yeah, so your pro forma is going to be a very short one, right? It's like you're going to be forecasting profitability of this location, and it's going to be instantaneous. And on that topic, I guess, of course, we like to train our dealers to get 50 to 60% gross margin after labor and material, setting their margin properly. Do you feel like that's easily attainable with a gutter protection
Absolutely.
program?
I get more excited. All my guys say, give me some more Guttercap leads. I mean, they'd rather sell Guttercap all day long over siding or windows, just because the turn and the closing ratios on it are just phenomenal. I mean, it's just I get more excited about selling 3 Guttercap jobs more than selling 2 roofing deals, because I'm gonna turn those jobs within 2 days. I mean, it's.
How long does a typical house take to install? If you're talking about like average linear footage of gutter installing with the Guttercap system, like a trained crew, not a roofing crew.
A trained crew is going to put 300 to 400. Say an average of 300 feet a day. If they got a really easy house, they could put 400 feet up a day. But an average day is going to be 300 feet. If it's a chopped up house, they're going to put one house up 150 to 200 feet up a day. I mean.
Okay, so average size house, trained crew, you could get a couple of houses done in a day.
Depends on the drive time.
On the drive time, absolutely. Yeah, again, just everything about it just makes all the sense in the world. And like you said, everyone's seen what Leaf Filter's done. Clearly, there's a large demand for this, and they barely scratched the surface. And I just think with a product like this, if a company goes armed for battle and they're able to truly differentiate and set themselves apart and build tremendous value. Because even what they're selling some of these temporary solutions for, I mean, it's unbelievable the price per linear foot that I'm hearing for like a leaf filter or some of these screen products. So obviously, within reason, this is something you can get extraordinarily high margins in, and you're doing that client a service because you're installing a long-term solution or a true permanent solution to their problems. So now with that in mind, the contractor, they have their printed price sheet, or every territory or contractor, maybe they have their own markup. Between Grosso and yourself, are we able to sit down with each contractor and make sure they have the right pricing schedule put in place, printed price sheets so they're getting the right margins? Is that stuff that we can provide to those contractors?
Absolutely, yeah. We can sit down and we want to be like we're in their office with them. Because we know we set them up right, they're going to sell a lot of Guttercap, and that's what we're here for. We're here to sell a lot of gutter protection.
Yeah. So whether you use a digital platform like Leap or One Click Contractor or Sumo Quote or Paradigm Vendo, of course there's a lot of companies out there, or you're just using a printed price sheet, we're going to sit down with you and make sure you have the right margins established and your pricing is in check, so you can be rest assured that when the dust settles after your labor and material, because again, volumes for vanity, profits for sanity. And there's no reason with this product, how easy it is to install, how easy it is to sell, and what it's truly doing, that this can't be the most profitable product you've ever offered and installed for your clients. And I firmly believe that. So Steve, we covered a lot of great information about Guttercap and of course the advantage of being a gutter dealer. So if I'm a contractor watching this webinar right now, I guess what's the best way to take that first step forward, reach out to you or reach out to Grosso University to get more information? I guess where would you point them in the right direction?
I would have them call either you or I, and we sit down and talk to them, tell them about our startup package that we have to get them all the sales training, all the things that we've talked about, and come alongside them, show them what we're offering them and what they need to do for their area. What if they want, what do they want for their area? Talk a little bit more, tell them what we've got for a startup package and what that startup package includes.
Yeah, and a great number you can call, we'll put it up on the screen here, is 888-GROSSO-U. That's GROSSOU. You just type it in on your phone. And that's a great place to start. And we're welcome to sit down with you and show you a lot more on what the program's going to offer. But again, for marketing supports, sales training, installation support and training, again, we're working on building the most comprehensive learning management system that ever hit the Guttercap market or gutter protection. And you're truly offering a patented product that's unique, exclusive, extraordinary, high margin, profitable, fun to sell. It's something that your clients are absolutely going to love. And if anything, it's going to give you rave reviews and testimonials. So if you sell any other products, this literally complements dang near anything. I mean, if you're offering basement waterproofing, if you're a roofing contractor, if you do anything on the exterior, interior of the house, this is a perfect product to complement anything that you're offering. And it's such an easy product to plug and play into your dealership model. And like you said, it's not like you have to wait months and months for it to become a lucrative and profitable venture.
Absolutely.
So I think it's safe to say, Steve, you created one of the most turnkey and profitable opportunities, but any opportunity is only as good as how you capitalize on it right now. So this is why we're offering this educational webinar, is we wanted to make this industry aware of what this opportunity is. And again, we recommend that you jump on board, because you've seen what, again, has happened with leaf filter and gutter protection. Once this thing ramps up, if you're not on board, someone next to you is going to get on board really quickly, and they're going to be offering exclusive products. So definitely reach out to us, make the phone call, go on our website, go on guttercap.com, do more due diligence. This is a product that can literally transform your business. And I think now more than ever before, Steve, contractors need to look to differentiate the product offering, because we are running into some challenging times out there.
Oh, absolutely.
And what used to work, 2 or 3 years ago in the golden ages of the home improvement industry, when everyone was kicking ass and taking names, we got to be more creative now. And I think differentiating your lead sources, differentiating the products and services you offer is one important strategy to survive the coming years.
Absolutely.
And I think you're providing one hell of an opportunity for everyone watching this. So I just want to thank you for your innovation, bringing this product to market. And of course, never stop improving. You're always looking to enhance it to make it even better. And I just want to thank you for considering Grosso University to add value to the program.
Great.
Because
Thank you.
we're excited to be a part of this. Congrats on all your success. I know this is just the beginning. So again, make sure you give us a phone call, 888-GROSSO-U. And after this educational webinar, we'll leave a few minutes open for some live Q&A. So if you have any questions, we can answer for those live, actually in person. So if you are interested, make sure you reach out. We'll do a poll question at the end of this pre-recording. So if you are interested, just simply let us know, and we'll follow up, and we'll set up 30 minutes or an hour just to go through the program and how we can help support you. So again, another Grosso University educational webinar. Thank you for taking time out of your day. Dominic Caminata, Steve, president of Guttercap. As always at Grosso University, yes, you are a closer.